history, where you have come from. With another show of hands, have you ever done ancestry? Yes. To be a brook without a source is like a tree without roots. That's by Forbes.com. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a rich history of ancestry. There it is. It all began long ago. This is the route from all of these countries in Africa. And you'll see how it's spread out all the way. And what I'm going to address tonight is the British North America. That's what it looked like for the brave hero and the resilience that have shown forth from my ancestors. When I did Ancestry.com, I discovered that I am 57% African, and my roots are in Cameroon. And I believe in that area that my ancestors were kings, queens, they were mathematicians, they were engineers, they had full communities and towns that they built. But because of greed and power and war, that's what it looked like. To have thousands of men and women crammed into the bottom of a slave ship. But it makes me proud. And you probably wonder why and how I could say that would make me proud. It makes me proud because my blood tells me that I came from strength. Because to travel that distance that you saw on that map, only the strong could have survived. Only the strong physically, emotionally, and mentally. We hear about all the heroes in the textbook, don't we? We talked about tonight Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Madam C.J. Walker. But what about the heroes that didn't make the textbook? Tonight I'm going to talk to you about one. His name is Prince. And that's why the title of my speech is The Prince Connection. I want you to see tonight as I share how this Prince connects to me, because he was my grandfather. He was born in 1753, and he lived to be 106 years old. Can you imagine that? That's some strong genetics there. They called him Prince. So that tells me kingship and royalty runs through my veins. He migrated as a ship landed in either Virginia or in the Carolinas. His slave owner was Mr. Goodie. Slaves were numbered, they were not named. So that's why I know he was a prince, because I believe that he was letting them know where he came from. Prince. The last name of all African Americans come from the slave owner, because we don't know what our names were in Africa. Prince was a community leader and he cared for others. It showed in the census. Census have been around for decades, years, hundreds of years. A census is where you have to tell what you know about your family heritage. And it says here that Prince provided for other slaves, and he was compensated for that. I also discovered that Prince bought property. He was a landowner. So he was an entrepreneur. And that resonates with me because I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 9 years old. I had 3 businesses before I was 12. And I've had numerous businesses all my entire life. So that is in my blood. Prince not only was a landowner and a farmer, but he raised sheep. And I believe he raised sheep because cotton was so harsh, and that was the #1 crop for the South. So he raised sheep so he could shear the sheep and sell the wool to market. When we looked at the census, Prince had over $495 in his bank account. If we were to equate that to monies today, my granddaddy was a millionaire. He was wealthy. And what it said in the census from Mr. Goodie was that Prince was industrious, he was honest, and he was upstanding. That's the connection I made with Prince. And I hope you learn and make a connection with your ancestor.